This is Smörgåsbord!
Welcome to Smörgåsbord, a show where we explore the rituals, myths, and all things strange about the world of food. I am Mick, and here is my co-host.
Angel.
And today we are covering vegetarianism myths.
It's funny because neither of us are vegetarian. I mean, I used to be.
That's something. I tried being vegetarian. I honestly tried.
How honestly? And how long did it last?
I lasted about half a meal.
An earnest try.
It was an earnest try.
So you had a salad and then you decided, nope.
I think I ordered a salad and then realized it was a shrimp salad.
You gave up.
I was like, well, I mean, I ordered it and I don't want to waste because I wanted to try vegetarianism to save the planet.
I'm glad to know that you're definitely not saving the planet now. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, I guess so. It makes, I guess, feelings. Just like everybody else.
Well, I can tell you why I started being a vegetarian. It really wasn't to save the planet because I am morally gray. As much as I love this planet, that wasn't the reason. I'm like a weird texture eater.
Right.
And like, it started with beef and pork. I just couldn't stand the texture anymore. And then it extended into chicken as well after about a month or two. And like, at this time, I also didn't like bread or rice back then either. So like, I wasn't eating meat and I wasn't eating any carbs. I don't know how I survived that period of my life.
I was just going to ask, yeah.
I did eat a lot of salad. Like a lot of salad. And a lot of tofu.
I mean, it sounds like at least you ate something.
Oh, I ate food. It was just very difficult because when you take away carbs and meat. Yeah, I remember going, like my friend invited me over for Thanksgiving. And then her mom was cooking everything. And she's just like, what does this girl eat? And then she asked me, she's like, what do you eat? She's like, I always only see you drink Red Bull. I don't know if you eat food.
You recently just started Cheetos, so there's two.
Yeah. I mean, I had a lot of smoothies. I did have a lot of Red Bull, but my favorite thing was tofu salad because it has protein and veggies.
Is it tofu salad as in tofu with some sauce in it, or is it tofu with veggies and stuff in it?
There's both kinds. Okay, so I was on a meal plan at school and they conveniently right downstairs from my dorm room, they had like this curry tofu mash. They called it a tofu salad. But they also had like green leafy stuff with chunks of tofu in it.
Oh, I see. Oh, cool.
Yeah. But that sadly was the extent of their vegetarian menu. And that was it. I just ate that for an entire year.
That seems like the set life. Was it? I've worked with a few vegetarians on set and they constantly just say there is no vegetarian food on set. It's
it's hard.
It's a struggle.
Or like they have vegetables, but they always cook it with some kind of meat.
Yeah.
And that's just no.
Yeah, I think it was either Callista or Megan. They were like livid because they just got potatoes. And tomato sauce. It was potatoes and tomato sauce. Yeah. That was the only actual vegetarian food. It's like, what's the point of even filling a start pack when they don't even really look at it?
Yeah, I think I would die because I don't eat potatoes.
You would just have tomato sauce. They just give it to you in a can and a spoon.
Here you go.
Not even opened. It's just a can.
I'll eat peanut butter. Peanut butter is I was going to say it's universally good for everyone. But there's definitely people with a lot of nut allergies.
That's true.
They'll actually die.
There was actually, what was it? I think it was one short. Crafty forgot that someone had a nut allergy, like airborne nut allergy, and brought peanut butter to set, and the person had to leave. And apparently she was getting a horrible allergic reaction as she was driving down the highway. So she had to stop over in the middle of the highway and try to
I did not know nuts were that strong.
Well, it depends on the allergy, because there's allergies that are based on eating it or contact.
I mean,
or
I didn't
sometimes
know
it's
there's
airborne as well.
airborne nuts.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, if you could smell nuts.
You can smell the nuts. Your insides are going to swell up and die.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to waft a scent of nuts, especially when they're close to your face. For some people. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, if you have a nut allergy and you're also a vegetarian, that could be kind of tough too.
Yeah.
Because it's a big protein source.
Yeah, you lose out on quite a bit of protein sources there. But I mean, you have peas, I guess, or beans.
Beans. I don't know.
Just be farting all your life.
I was not a healthy vegetarian, so like I can't tell you what's balanced and what wasn't. And this was like when I first moved out from home. So I was living like an adult, even though I really wasn't. I was like, I'm fine.
Yep.
I just ended up eating a lot of popcorn.
It's funny. So actually, the one other time I tried becoming vegetarian was also when I moved out, and that was just because meat was expensive.
Yeah.
So I would buy just frozen vegetables, like frozen peas and carrots, and get like tomato sauce and make chili. I would just treat myself and buy like a bag of spice every week. Eventually, I would have a collection of flavors that I could cook my vegetables with.
Your veggie stew, like
yep. That was the life.
Indistinguishable from mush.
Yep. And then I found out PriceSmart sold bacon super cheap, so then I would get bacon too.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think bacon was the one thing that I really missed when I was veggie.
It seems to, I think, that seems to happen quite a bit for like vegetarians, that bacon comes up.
It's so salty and crunchy and so good.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so before we even go into talking a little bit about some vegetarian myths, but before we go there, what's been in your palate?
Well, it could have been chocolate, but I had an unfortunate chocolate accident. I was holding 3 pounds of like chocolate, broken up into s'more-sized bits.
This is the good chocolate. That's 65% dark chocolate for 85% dark chocolate.
I was so excited to like take these home. This is by the way, these are props for a show. There was a s'more making scene. So no one really touched them. They were just kind of sitting in a bowl for the scene. And then I was like, oh yeah, pay dirt. I'm going to take all this chocolate home. And then as I got into the shuttle, I dropped the entire handful.
Oh, no.
Not a single one was spared, and it hit the bottom of the shuttle floor where everyone has been trampling on, and it was wet and muddy the whole day. So like there's no way of saving these chocolates that like touched nasty foot traffic shuttle floor. Yeah. I'm still upset talking about this. So
that sounds so painful. I can't even imagine. You probably wrapped at midnight and you're just like, I can't wait to go home with these chocolates.
Yeah, I didn't wrap them super tight because I'm like, it's just gonna go to my car and then I'm gonna take them home, and then who knew I was gonna drop them all.
Oh man.
Yeah,
well, that's unfortunate. Did you take anything else home or just the chocolates?
No, it was just the chocolates.
Oh no.
It wasn't meant to be.
No.
So that was what could have been on my palate. But instead, I have a lot of Thin Mints. Wait, did I say this last time? I don't remember.
Think so.
Okay, well, it's Thin Mint season. Girl Scout cookies. They're the best.
Yes.
Cookies. And this is the thing, they only have it during the winter. So if you want Thin Mints,
really,
better stock up now. Yep.
Oh damn.
Yeah, because I was looking for them in the summer and they only had those crappy vanilla cookies that nobody likes.
Where can I get some of this?
I got mine at City Market or Loblaws.
Oh, okay,
but you
cool.
can also get it on their website, the Girl Scouts of Canada.
Oh, okay. Give me 1 sec.
You're gonna order?
I have to use the washroom?
I'm gonna attend to a thing real quick?
Don't mind these clackety sounds. That's just me walking to the washroom.
And ordering cookies while doing that.
Buy cookies from a girl I know? What is this, a dating site?
No, you have... Yeah, I think you need to know their badge number or something if you want to go that route.
No, I don't want to. Oh, here. Buy cookies from Girl Guides Canada. There we go. Yep. That's what we want. 12 boxes per case. 22 cookies per box.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a shipping fee.
$8 shipping. So to make that worth it, I want to spread that to at least 16 boxes.
Get like a whole case. Get a whole case.
So I would get 2 cases.
I didn't know.
Oh, no, the shipping goes up as you order more stuff.
So how many boxes can you get for the $8 shipping?
Let's see. 5, it seems, is the
5?
magic number.
Okay.
Oh, no, 4 is the magic number.
4 for 8.
Maybe I'll just go for 240.
If you buy a bunch of them, we can split it.
True. Yeah, because we have to do the math. It only happens at a certain point every year.
Yeah.
And there's 365 days in a year. So
if I want to eat a box of cookies a day.
Yeah, 22 cookies a day. Well, let's be real.
That's a lot of cookies a day. And
you might have days where you'd eat a whole box, but then on average,
that's what I've been doing for the last 4 days.
Okay, maybe 240 boxes is too much. Let's do something. How about 24 boxes?
24 boxes. You want to split it 12 half? So
12 boxes each of chocolatey mint cookies. We need to find girls. Girl guides.
Girl guides. I think there was one by my mom's house. They got either that or they ordered a whole bunch of cookies because I saw Girl Guide boxes outside on their front porch. Oh, and I almost went up and took some. But that would just make me a really bad person.
So I think we should just order them online.
Okay.
24 boxes is $148. So it's like $70 for 12 boxes.
Yeah. They should be.
What's the math
in store? They're $5 a box.
So it's about $6 a box.
Oh, that's not bad. I'll split it with you.
And you could have that delivered to your house. Okay. Anyway, what were we doing? Oh, we're doing a smorgasbord episode. That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, for me and my palate are pretty much cookies too, because I've been eating so many Triscuits.
Those are biscuits. Those are not cookies.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, fine.
Things.
Biscuits. Whatever.
Cookies are sweet.
One bite things that crunch.
One bite. Yes.
I guess, is that the difference between a cookie and a biscuit? Is
I've
a
always
biscuit
thought
crunches and a cookie kind of...
No, I always thought of biscuits as savory and cookies are sweet.
Oh, that's a good point. Okay. I could buy that.
That's just my definition though, so I don't know.
For the same show, we also had a charcuterie scene, and we bought a bunch of meat and biscuits and crackers, and one of it were Triscuits. So I decided, Ia likes Triscuits, so I grabbed a couple boxes.
And then did she eat the whole, or did you eat the whole thing?
Yeah, we started with 2 boxes on Saturday, and it's Sunday today, and I need more boxes.
You have a crippling, crunchy food addiction.
I do. This was really good, though, because one of it was Gouda flavored Triscuits, and then the other one was lime avocado one. And they're pretty tasty. It wasn't as flavorful as I thought it would be, which I think is why I kept wanting to eat, because I kept eating more. I'm like, I need more avocado in my mouth. The more I ate,
how much actual avocado does it contain?
I don't know. You know the hint of lime Tostitos chips?
Yes.
So if that's a 9, the amount of avo lime on this one is about a 2.
Oh, okay. It's very mild.
It's really not very mild. Even the Gouda one was very mild. Like, you'll bite it, you'll have a hint of Gouda and then just Triscuits.
Ah, okay.
Which
That's
makes you want more.
I can't get behind that because I'm all about hit me with the flavor and hit me.
Yeah, but I think they had enough flavor in it that you wanted more. Because you're like, I need more flavor.
Oh. Then I would just lick them, honestly. Nothing makes me happier than when I got the cheese, the holy grail, the cheese ball in a Cheetos bag.
Oh,
the cheese cluster.
Damn.
That's when the cheesy gods smile upon you. And you're like, I have been blessed.
Is there even any chip in it, or is it just all cheese?
It's all cheese. It's just a cluster of cheese.
Damn.
Like, it looks like a Cheeto because, they're lumpy and weird shaped.
Yeah.
So, like, you don't know unless you're looking closely, and then you just bite into it. You're like, oh, it's pure flavor.
Pure joy.
Yeah.
Jesus?
It's only happened to me like twice. So.
Hey, that's two more than I ever had, so I guess I've never found true joy yet.
No, you haven't. You really need to start upping your chances by eating a bag of Cheetos a day.
Oh man, I can't. Every time I only crave Cheetos after I take a bite of Cheetos.
Oh, okay.
So I never crave it until I actually try it. So I just
so somebody else has to have a bag.
Because someone will have a bag and then I try it and then it becomes my bag.
That's fair.
For about 20 minutes and then it becomes the garbage bag's bag. It's fully devoured. Well, those are vegetarian things. Triscuit and
I think it depends
chocolate.
On how strict of a vegetarian you are. There's definitely a gamut of vegetarians. Like people
totally.
Will not touch things that were cooked in the same like pan or kitchen even as meat.
I mean, vegetarianism, people think that it's just that they don't eat any kind of meat or whatever, but even that kind of falls in the spectrum because some people also even eat dairy products or eggs or whatever. And they consider themselves vegetarianism.
Yes. Oh, I met a girl once that was like, I'm a vegetarian, but I eat chicken. And I'm like, then you're not a vegetarian.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, that's a bit of a stretch.
In terms of vegetarianism, though, 5% of Americans apparently identify as vegetarian. And as we said, there is a whole gamut. Is that the word? Gambit? Gamut?
Gamut. Gamut.
Gamut. Gamut, Janet. Damn it, Janet. Gamut. Manet. But there are, 5% of Americans.
A whole spectrum.
Yeah. And even in Canada, I think it's about 6%. So it's about the same as well. They are definitely kind of a minority here.
I would have thought it was less, actually. Maybe it was less when I was a vegetarian. That's why things were even harder to come across.
I mean, it's definitely not common. You think it's less than 5%?
I don't know.
It's like one every 20 people you meet?
Because when I was a vegetarian, I never met another one.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
In Vancouver, you tend to meet quite a number of vegetarians.
Yes. I feel like there's more of them here than in California.
Yeah.
I knew one girl online. Like, I didn't know her in real life.
Right.
But then she's like, I remember she texted me one day. She's all like, I feel really bad. I have to start eating meat. And I'm like, why? She's all like, well, I moved out of my parents' house and I didn't know that eating just vegetables is so expensive.
Mm.
And it's true in America, at least.
I guess it depends on what vegetables you buy. Like if you're buying vegetables, especially in like Whole Foods or whatever, it could be expensive. But if you're only just buying frozen veggies, it could be pretty cheap too. Depends on what you want.
It's not as subsidized
as meat.
Some of the crazy like meaty frozen dinners.
Fair, true. If you're looking at like stuff like that, I guess so. Yeah. But because I was thinking of just me buying frozen peas and veggies and cooking that in bulk for a week. And that was pretty cheap.
Yeah, it's hard. It's cheap that way, but it's also hard to get any like nutritional value. Not that like frozen dinners give you that much, but it gives you more of a variety, I guess, in palate. So you don't have to eat frozen peas every single day.
True. Well, anyway, I wanted to look into also some famous vegetarians, and I'm like in Google right now, and it's a bunch of really old school people, like Pythagoras.
How do they know? Was he like the math guy?
Yeah, the math guy.
Okay.
Leonardo da Vinci.
Oh, okay.
Gandhi.
That's not surprising.
Kafka. Mary Shelley apparently was vegetarian, which is
Frankenstein was
Frankenstein
a
should be.
metaphor for vegetarianism.
Jane Goodall, which I don't think is surprising. Paul McCartney apparently is.
Also not surprising.
Adolf Hitler?
Yep. He was an art student and a vegetarian.
No way. Oh.
What a hipster.
Yeah. OG hipster. Forrest Whitaker apparently.
Oh, cool.
There's so many like big names here, and then Forrest Whitaker shows up.
Hey, he's a big, not a historical figure yet.
Not yet, yeah.
Too contemporary.
Nikola Tesla, Shania Twain, Tolstoy apparently was one. Yes, there are people.
There's people sprinkled throughout history. See,
Yeah.
like I don't know what
Ricky
their
Martin.
cause is. Ricky Martin's a vegetarian.
Damn.
Cool.
Would never have
She
guessed.
bangs.
She bangs butter?
Like, okay, so contemporary wise, I get it because
Yeah.
of like really bad farming practices and climate change, all that. But
Mhm.
like, what about like Tolstoy? Like, why was he, or like Pythagoras? They or yeah.
Just A plus B equals C. Therefore,
like,
I
you
guess I
lived in
should
a
stop
planet-
eating meat.
The planet's not gonna start heating up until like way after you're dead, dude.
Maybe like
Maybe
feelings.
he calculated it.
Yeah, he
He's
saw
all
that,
like, "Ooh, this is bad."
or calculated that there's animals have feelings or something. Maybe.
Oh, right. That is another reason. Animal lovers. This is like the contradiction, because I do love me some animal friends, but I also eat them.
I don't feel like it's a contradiction only in the sense of like you could think of it as animals as food and also as friends, and I don't think that is a contradiction. Like I like dogs.
But would you eat a dog though?
I don't think so, but I think that has more to do for me than it's not common cuisine,
Right.
Like I've had a chicken as a pet, but I've also ate chicken. Or same with a duck.
Do you actually have a chicken?
I had a
Pet?
pet chicken before, yeah.
What was his name?
I honestly
Or
don't
her?
remember. I was a kid, very young.
Okay.
I had a rabbit as a pet too, and I kind of like eating rabbit. Or I like the taste of rabbit.
Okay. I've never had rabbit. I don't know.
I don't think it follows that if you love animals, you can't
It's-
eat it.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know. There's definitely some kind of flaw in logic there.
Yeah.
Because I do. Yes, I think it's very, very selfish to think that animals don't have feelings. They obviously do. But I'm also hungry.
Yeah.
So does that make me a psychopath?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's just like that's just nature too, right? Like, I feel like it is there. There is a jump definitely between.
Well, we're
two.
so like removed from the slaughtering process because we just eat it. It's already packaged.
Yeah,
It's already like cleaned.
and
It doesn't look anything like, well, seafood aside.
I mean, that's another example. Like farmers, some farmers, I'm sure love their animals, but also know that they're also food. So there's that bond.
It's hard. Speaking of which, I'm trying to grow some basil, and like I feel bad when I have to cut it, even though you just have to because otherwise the leaves will just fall off anyway.
Yeah.
Not that I'm comparing cows to a basil
No.
plant.
I do think though that like there is definitely a line for like harming animals unnecessarily.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
if you
I
love
can't-
animals, you wouldn't unnecessarily harm an animal.
But farming is quite like the living conditions is not good.
Oh yeah, they're not good. But
It's a very hard debate. It's one of those things that like really make me feel feelings. Oh, I think I'm broken.
But anyway, we're not going to go too far into that because then we could go into a philosophical deep dive on
Yeah.
vegetarianism, and we need a vegetarian for that, I think.
Yes.
But we do want to touch into a few vegetarian myths. This is a non-exhaustive list. I'm sure there are a million other myths out there. I just picked a few that we could potentially talk about. One myth is that vegetarianism is the same as veganism. There is a difference between vegetarians and vegans, just in terms of definition, I guess. Vegetarians can usually in their diet don't eat meat or poultry or fish or food or animals, but can also potentially, still some vegetarians would consider eating byproducts of animals okay to eat. So eggs, dairy, cheese, and all that. Meanwhile, vegans usually just fully avoid anything that has to do with animals, including the byproducts. So this is a very big blanket statement in the differences between vegetarianism and veganism, because we also talked about that they are all in a spectrum. Between vegetarianism and veganism, the line is drawn in the animal side. When there's zero animals at all, including byproducts of animals, then you tend to be considered vegan.
Yeah, so they don't wear leather pants.
Yeah, that probably counts too.
Any kind of like leather shoes, probably they stay away from.
Yeah, they're very likely to be not a fan of those.
No.
I think both for vegetarians and vegans, because that's not even food anymore. That's just using animals for...
Oh, it's just like animal products.
Yeah.
Vegans don't. Far as I know. Far as my understanding is, they try not to. But I think a lot of stuff is unavoidable. Because, like, you know, how far are you going to take it? Because plastics is basically made of dead things.
Yeah. Or fuel is dead animals.
Dead things, yeah.
Fossil fuels, I mean.
Yeah.
When it comes to some other diet-related ones, one vegetarian myth that came up was that you can't get protein as a vegetarian. At least it's not easy to get protein. Some people believe that protein comes from meat. This is definitely a myth. There are a lot of plant-based proteins out there. Beans, legumes, lentils, soy products, grains, nuts. And even some byproducts of animals like dairy and eggs can contain proteins. Plant-based proteins have more fiber and contain less saturated fat, which could potentially be healthier for your heart even than eating meat.
Probably on the cholesterol side.
For sure. There's probably less cholesterol in a nut than an animal.
No, cholesterol strictly comes from animal fat.
Yeah.
This is something I learned while I was a vegetarian.
Oh, there you go. That's definitely a big benefit. Related to this myth, there's also the myth that we need meat in our diet. There's a distinction that you have to make between the ability to eat meat versus the need to eat meat. Just because we have the ability to eat meat doesn't mean we have to eat meat. That one I think is more of a myth, you know.
We are omnivores.
Yeah. Similarly to protein, another myth is that you can't get calcium as a vegetarian. The belief mainly comes from the idea that milk is the only thing that can give you bone health or be good for your bones or give you calcium. Well, one reason why this myth isn't true is that it's not just calcium that actually contributes to bone health, right? Vitamin D and protein also help in helping your bones be stronger. Also, there are vegetables like kale, broccoli, or bok choy that can help give you some bone health.
I think beets might be something. Or beets is just really good for you.
Yeah, apparently it is. A little red goodness.
Oh, it's so good. It turns your pea pink. So if you eat a lot of beets and then you forgot that you eat a lot of beets and then your pea turns pink, do not freak out and think you're gonna die.
It's just the beets.
Definitely not something that happened to me.
You're just dropping some beets?
Some sick beets. Anyway, yes, beets are very good for you.
Another myth is that you can't get fat as a vegetarian, or a vegetarian diet means that you will lose weight. This depends on the person. It isn't really true. I mean...
I can tell you I was heavier when I was a vegetarian.
Yeah. Also, potato chips are vegetarian.
Yeah.
So... if your diet revolves around potato chips, I don't think
you're vegetarian, you can
would lose a lot of weight.
You actually can just eat all fries. You're not going to lose weight. Yeah. I remember when I first stopped being a vegetarian, I dropped like 10 pounds.
No way.
Very, very quickly.
Was it because you ate less, or what was it?
I think I was eating less carbs and like more protein. That was why.
Right. Because what was your diet as a vegetarian?
Well, tofu salad, chips. But I did eat like dessert. I think I filled like, so if I wasn't feeling full, then I would like eat a lot of sugar.
Was it the Girl Guide cookies?
Maybe.
But there is apparently evidence, though, to suggest that a plant-based diet compared to general diets can lead to a higher rate of weight loss. So when people follow a strict diet, a plant-based diet can lead to a better rate of weight loss than a diet that includes non-plant-based items.
You're probably eating less fat, like a lot less fat.
Yeah, because then, if you're including chicken or pork or beef into your diet, even though it's a good amount, it's still, there is a lot more fat in those meats than just eating, say, kale or broccoli or whatnot.
Fats are good for you.
Yeah, a little fat, especially when it's cold.
Yep, like a seal.
Insulation, baby.
Yeah, vegetarians, you better get your fats from avocados.
Yeah. As you can see, when it comes to the diet-related myths about vegetarianism, like not getting enough nutrients or blah, 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 it isn't necessarily true. There are options out there. It is definitely not like as easy as just finding chicken. You have to kind of learn which ones are giving you the nutrients or which ones aren't. But I mean, that's just like learning how to eat meat even growing up, knowing which ones will, make you feel good and not to. So I don't know what my point there was.
You got to learn to eat smart.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just learning to eat smart.
Yeah. Because I was a really crappy vegetarian. I wasn't like getting the proper nutrition.
Yeah. When it comes to flavor related myths, there's a myth that vegetables are just bland and not really as tasty as meat.
You gotta sauce it, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Sauces. And even meat itself, you season meat with spices and herbs, which are all vegetarian.
Yeah.
So the reason why meat tastes good is because of vegetables.
Right. Plants.
Yeah, or plants. Yeah, exactly. Like, you're not going to eat boiled chicken unless you're...
Oh, I tried to make boiled chicken before because I didn't know how to cook chicken. And I'm like, you just boil it, right? And it's good. No, it was awful.
Yeah. Like, try eating unseasoned meat and tell me that that's not bland. And it's the same thing with vegetables. Vegetables just need seasoning or spice as well.
Yeah, people are so mystified about tofu. They're like, it doesn't taste like anything. It's like, because you need to put things on it.
Yeah. It's like, oh, this broccoli just tastes like broccoli.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
And then a related myth to that one is that by being vegetarian, you're missing out on the flavors of meat. Sure, you might be, but most meat, as we mentioned, is usually flavored or spiced by plants anyway. So
right.
Are you really missing the flavor of meat?
See, most vegetarians I know actually don't like that meaty taste. So they're actually glad to not taste that.
And I guess aside from bacon, I don't know if vegetarians tend to crave. Yeah.
There was a very good bacon alternative, bacon, that I was very into. They don't sell it in Canada.
Shaking bacon?
Fakin' bacon.
Oh, fakin'
it's
bacon.
Morningstar fake bacon.
Don't they? I think doesn't Meat on Main have it in their
Not that I know of. I don't even know if they have it anymore. This is quite a few years ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, their fake bacon was the best. Trader Joe's. Yeah.
In terms of social related myths, we already covered one of them, which is all vegetarians are the same. They're definitely not. In many different ways, their diet preferences, the reasons why they're vegetarian, how they're vegetarian, whether they'll tell you to be vegetarian or not. All different kinds of vegetarians out there. And most of them are very nice people, friendly people who are more than happy to teach you and help you learn actually how to cook vegetables. Because that's the one thing I learned when I tried being vegetarian and was a frustrating point for me was vegetables are so much more complex in the sense of how to cook them will bring different flavors out, or different ways of cooking will bring different flavors out. And it isn't as easy as just throwing it into a grill and it'll taste good.
Although that's a pretty good bet.
Yeah.
Grilling things.
True that though. Another socially related myth is all vegetarians are healthy or better.
Better.
I just added the better part because I think that's another people. Some people tend to think that vegetarians think they're morally better, I guess.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
I think both of those are a myth in terms of the vegetarians are healthier. As we mentioned, that's all dependent on the person. A diet of Cheetos is technically vegetarian.
It's true.
Cheetos and Red Bull.
Life.
And ground chocolate.
Oh,
shuttle ground
floor.
Chocolate. Shuttle floor chocolate. Those are all vegetarian diets. I would not say those are healthy.
No.
And also, in terms of the better part, I don't want to speak for every vegetarian out there, but I don't think vegetarians think they're better than everybody else in a general sense.
No, I feel like it's like a stereotype almost.
I think it is too. And I was actually reading this one article, which was fascinating to me, is they were saying that meat eaters feel defensive or offended by vegetarians rather than vegetarians making them feel offended. And the reason of it is because potentially meat eaters feel like they need to defend themselves. They might potentially subconsciously feel like they're being accused of being animal haters or environmental destroyers or whatever.
Right.
So you naturally feel defensive against a vegetarian. So rather than the vegetarian being the one trying to offend you.
Right. It's a insecurity trigger. Oof.
Yeah. Yeah,
totally. Go down that rabbit hole too.
Yeah. So I think if you're a meat eater who meets a fellow vegetarian and you feel defensive or abhorrent of their sight, I would suggest asking yourself whether that is coming from them or is that really coming from you?
Are you judging? Are you projecting
exactly
your judgment of yourself?
Yeah. So I thought that was a fascinating point someone made, who I think was speaking from the meat eater side, because I don't think that our author was vegetarian themselves. And I think
I've never gotten the moral spiel from a vegetarian before.
Yeah.
Nor have I given it to anyone either.
No.
I'm like, you eat what you eat. I'm just gonna eat my Cheetos.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been made to feel guilty by a vegetarian directly. Like, I don't think anyone's been like, you're a killer, animal killer.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen like the extremes in the news, but that's like sensationalist and very small fraction of people.
Yeah. Like everything. The
loudest people are the ones that you see.
Yeah. They are so small percentage. This one we already covered. Vegetarian diet is expensive. I mean, it is if you're shopping in Whole Foods every day and buying the most expensive vegetable, like exotic Indonesian aubergines crafted in the Himalayan mountains by a specific monk. I don't think that exists. I'm making shit up.
It might.
But sure, if you're gonna shop at Whole Foods or like fancy grocery, like don't feel compelled that you need to buy vegetables from a different fancier grocery just because you're vegetarian now.
I felt so like I didn't fit in at Whole Foods the one time that I went there. I'm just like, wow, this is too fancy.
It's like I really need to clean my shit up. I can't pay this much
for broccoli.
I know. It's the same piece of vegetable. Why is this $5 now?
I just bought a kombucha and left because I didn't want to like leave without getting anything. And then the kombucha was on sale, so I'm like, okay.
I could haggle this too.
That's the kind of pleb I am.
This kombucha's a little bit cracked. I'm not paying sale price for this. I'm paying broken sale price.
I wonder if vegetarians can drink kombucha because it's a little yeast factory.
True. I mean, the Jains wouldn't.
The Jains wouldn't. The vegans, I don't know if they consider yeast an animal?
It falls under the animal kingdom, so I'm sure there are certain vegans that would probably not.
Right, so vegans or vegetarians, let us know if you drink kombucha.
Yeah. Vegan. Are you kumbaya with kombucha?
I am. I love it. I just got a whole case from Costco.
Ooh, nice. I have yet to understand kombucha.
Oh,
I will leave it at that.
I feel like it's an acquired taste, but it only took me one sip to acquire the taste for it. So.
I did not have that experience, but I also opened that kombucha bottle 3 or 4 months after I bought it. So,
that's probably not so good. You should try. It was disgusting. Fresher one.
It was so gross. I didn't know that they
fresh one.
were like living things.
Yeah.
Another myth. This one. Sorry, this is not funny. Is that all vegetarians are sad?
What?
I think this myth comes more from like some people's experiences of vegetarians who like to complain about the world a lot, or like are just never happy or never seem to be happy.
I know tons of meat eaters that are also very sad.
Exactly. I don't think this is unique to vegetarians, and there are definitely not all vegetarians are sad, but I did find some studies that seem to suggest that vegetarians compared to non-vegetarians have lower self-esteem, have less feeling for meaning in life, and have a higher chance of depression compared to meat eaters. But because even if that study exists, though, they're looking deeper into these studies, it doesn't seem like they conclude that there is a causal relation between these mental effects and vegetarianism. It might just be coincidental more than it seems to suggest more coincidental than causal.
Correlation does not mean causation.
Exactly.
Correlation, not causation. Yeah.
Exactly. In the case of depression, for example, it seems that most of the vegetarians that were studied that were depressed were actually depressed first before they became vegetarians. So they were depressed and then became vegetarians after, which actually suggests potentially that instead of vegetarians causing unhappiness, people choose to be vegetarian to try to deal with their their bad mental state.
Yeah.
So there potentially might be a group of vegetarians out there who use it as a coping mechanism to deal with lower self-esteem or depression. So I would consider all vegetarians sad as definitely a myth and definitely busted.
Yeah.
Because it seems potentially there might be even evidence to suggest that they use this to be happy and that they're on their way up and you've caught them at rock bottom.
Yeah. Self-medicating with legumes.
Yeah. Self-medicating legumes. Great band name.
SML. SML.
And also on top of that too, there's also some research or potential that there's some suggestion as well that these mental illnesses aren't actually caused by the fact that they are vegetarian, but actually potentially caused by the fact that they are a social minority. The same way that some cultural minorities tend to have lower self-esteem, be more depressed, and have more mental issues. It potentially could be that.
And just like hard to socialize sometimes, because social eating is such a thing. If you're going out with your friends and nobody else is a vegetarian, you're not getting very much.
And it's a struggle because I feel like some vegetarians might always feel some of them might even feel like it's awkward to bring it up amongst their friends. Be like, hey, I can't eat anything there.
Yeah, I can't go to your potluck because
and
I will have nothing to eat.
And, people might tend to judge them or see them as, oh, this self-righteous person being vegetarian or making it a hard time for us. But really, that's what they live with, I don't think people should be treated meanly for the way they eat. Maybe except for people who eat Hawaiian pizza.
Disagree.
Straight from hell.
Disagree. I thought you were going to say like people who eat children.
No, they're fine too. No judgments there. Hawaiian pizza though,
just those abomination,
just wrong.
Abominable pizza. Hawaiian person.
Yeah. There are also some other myths about vegetarianism being bad. One of it is that a soy-based diet could be bad for your health. Now, this one comes from the belief that soy can cause breast cancer, thyroid issues, or even dementia. The reason why people think soy causes all of this is because soy seems to contain what is called isoflavones. Isoflavones? It's not Spanish, I guess.
Keep going.
Isoflavones. I saw flavor.
ISO flavors.
Flavones. Damn it, I was really hoping we have one episode we don't go through this.
We're gonna go with it.
But isoflavones are essentially a plant's equivalent to estrogen. And some suggest that this estrogen causes hormone imbalances to women that could potentially cause breast cancer, thyroid issues, or dementia. There seems to be no conclusive evidence to suggest such a blanket statement. There might be certain extreme cases that might happen, but not generally true for every vegetarian. Soy is also a healthier alternative aside from that, compared to red meat, because then it provides you with a protein without all the unhealthy fats.
I love soy.
I don't, every time people say soy, I just don't know what they mean by soy. Is it?
It could be the bean, like edamame, or it could be tofu, or it can take form of many, many, many shapes and textures.
Yeah.
It's a very versatile
soy sauce made of
thing.
Soy?
Yes. But mostly salt.
Another myth related to vegetarianism being bad is that there is a myth that vegetarian diets are not sustainable or not good for kids, athletes, or pregnant people. This is not necessarily true. It just requires, again, education and planning and knowing what you're eating. Which, especially for these situations, feeding your kids, being an athlete, or being pregnant, being hyper aware about what you're eating and what you're putting in your body is so important. And that goes in line with vegetarianism anyway, or eating in a vegetarian diet, because you're trying to be more aware of what you're eating and being more healthy that way. So this myth is only really true if you're not actually putting your mind and effort into it. If you're feeding your kids potato chips and saying you're vegetarian,
I got news for you, buddy.
Yeah, if you're not having a balanced vegetarian diet, it's almost just as bad as having an imbalanced meat diet for all of these, for anybody too. When it comes to athletes, in fact, there are some studies that show that you even feel better, give you increased energy, better stamina by being on a vegetarian diet. There's a documentary called The Game Changers, which goes really deep into that, and it convinced me when I used to train to be like, maybe I should be vegetarian.
And then you had that shrimp salad.
Yeah, the shrimp salad. But it is true though, right? Like some people eat beef and you feel so tired after, compared to when you eat a nice healthy burrito.
Burrito with beef in it? Or like just a bean burrito?
A bean burrito, yeah.
There's a lot of farting, I have to say, when it comes to that comes with vegetarianism. At least
every advantage in sports, right?
Yeah. You just like lift off.
Chemical warfare, all part of sports there. But related to this myth as well is that apparently there's a belief that vegetarians cannot build muscle. Again, that's not true because we go back to the other myth about proteins. You could get proteins from vegetables. And
as someone who eats meat and is unable to pack on any kind of muscle, I'm gonna disprove that right now.
And I have to say, definitely times when I eat less meat, I feel stronger and better. And I think it has more to do with a balanced diet than anything. When it comes to all of this, of course, when you're starting off your vegetarian diet, it's not simple to start that. You have to learn your nutrients and your needs anyway. But that's what's important about all of this, is if you want to be healthy, you just have to pay attention to what you eat, whether you're vegetarian or not. That's the moral of this episode.
Yeah. Eat a balanced meal. If you don't want animal products in it, cool. Just make sure you're not just eating potatoes. And meat eaters, don't just eat like burgers. There's more out there.
There's more to meat than just burgers. There's empanadas, which burritos. Are burgers, fully sealed burgers.
Oh, those are, yeah. Burger in a pocket.
Yeah, burger pockets. Just like we do in every episode, we ask, is it healthy or is it good? As we talked about in this episode, vegetarianism doesn't necessarily mean healthy, but generally speaking, if you pay proper attention to your diet, yeah, vegetarianism can be pretty healthy. Is it good? I would say maybe 10 years ago, I would never believe it to be good or better than meat. But nowadays I've tried a variety of different vegetable dishes, and friends of mine have shown me so many different ways to cook vegetables that thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Yes, I have to say that vegetarian food in restaurants have also come a really long way.
Yeah, totally.
So there's options now. Like, I wandered into Virtuous Pie, not knowing what it was, ate an entire pizza, and then I was like, wait a minute. That was vegan? Yeah, it was so good.
It is possible, folks.
I didn't feel like it was missing anything.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's our episode on vegetarian myths. If you have any rituals or myths or something strange you want to share with us, or any vegetarian food ideas, find us on social media at Smörgåsbord. And we'd love to hear from all of you.
Yes, and please correct Mick's pronunciation of isoflavones.
Isoflavones.
Like, I can't even off the top of my head remember how it's actually said, but I'm pretty sure that's not correct.
Isoflavos.
Isoflavons.
Flavons. Isoflavons.
Isoflavones.
Isoflavone. Anyway.
Yeah, peace out.
Bye.
This is Smörgåsbord.
This show was created by Angel Lynn and Mick Narciso, hosted by Angel Lynn and Mick Narciso, edited by Mick Narciso and Bianca Goico, logo and graphics by Angel Lynn, music by Mick Narciso, and videography by Bianca Goico. The show is produced by Geek Happy Network, constantly curious about the things we love. If you enjoyed listening to Smörgåsbord, remember to subscribe to the show on Spotify, YouTube, or on your favorite podcast app. Remember to leave a review. We would love to hear your thoughts.